Welcome back to another Sunday swim here at mattyfish. Again, I'm having a little bit of technical errors again. I'm not sure if YouTube changed their format or what the heck is going on here, but for some reason I cannot put myself into vertical landscape anymore. So I apologize for that in advance for those of you that prefer the vertical landscape. For those of you that prefer the upright, well then, Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas. I don't know, however you want to say it. But welcome back if you guys have been here before. Welcome in if you haven't before. Please like, subscribe, share. See, I can't even talk, guys. But please like, subscribe, share. If it's your first time here, click the bell, get those notifications. Join us on this cichlid and fishy journey. We're going to get into a few things today. We'll talk about what's been going on with the tanks this week. We've made a few adjustments on some things. Excuse me. Also, as more people start joining this live stream, I'd really like to get into more Q&A about fish for you guys. And, hopefully I can continue helping some of you guys out there. But for now, let's go ahead and get into what's been going on this week. So let's start out by taking a look at the big boy tank. Let's turn you around and take a look at these beautiful fish for you guys here, eh? So I figured out the source of the micro bubbles here. What is going on? So let me show you something real quick before we talk about fish. So I need to get another line. No, it's not leaking, but you see here on this line, there's no separation. I have tape on this line because there is a slight amount of separation, and I think that there's a pocket big enough that just a tiny amount of air is getting in there, but no leaks. It's either got to be that, so I'm going to change that out first, or maybe my O-ring perhaps needs to be redone. You see, this one, I had over-tightened it a little bit at one point accidentally. I think that's also a contributing factor. We're going to get to the bottom of it, though. I know it's not a gaseous buildup. I know it's not anything that's going to hurt my fish. It's just air getting in the system somewhere. So that's what's going on there. But as you can see, everybody doing really well in this tank. Look at Baloo here just shining. Definitely still one of the more dominant fish in this tank. I don't think right now, I wouldn't say that we have a true tank boss, just like I was saying the other week right now. But, all these guys get along pretty well for the most part. I know Tyler Plant was asking about our Copa de Chromis in one of the shorts. He's just a lot smaller than everybody else, and he'll color up eventually. He's just on the small side, and he hasn't really grown much since I've gotten him either. Considering moving him into the 15-gallon cube just to quarantine for a little bit and see how he does. I might do that next week. Let me know, guys, what you think about that idea, because I think it would probably do this fish some good. I know he does get slightly harassed by this guy, our Malawi hawk, who's really gotten, really made some progress in the last week or so. As you can see, he's got his blue face on today. He's getting some more blue in his body. It's kind of hard to tell because he's really up top right now. But if he comes down a little more, you can really see. But, I mean, this guy is really starting to take off. So, maybe I'll get an entirely blue hawk sometime here in the next few weeks. I don't know. We'll see. I know that with these guys, a lot of people just kind of have them and they end up with blue face and they don't get a fully blue body sometimes. I think this guy is going to get a fully blue body at some point. It's just a matter of care, concern, and love given to him in order to make that happen and to maintain that once it does happen. As you guys know, I try to give these fish the utmost care and do everything that I can for them. So Everybody doing really well in here. Our Buko really been making some moves again. You can see he's got some nice greens and yellows coming in. If he would stay a little more still, there we go. Check that out. Oof, fired up. Brody, our Taiwan Reef, really doing well. He was our first fish feature video that we did. If you guys haven't seen that before, go check that out. We just did another fish feature that I posted up the other day. That was on our beautiful Star Sapphire cichlid, our F1 Star Sapphire that's right here. Thank you for those of you that are in here right now. Say hello. I'm not quite sure who's in the room right now. Welcome, guys. Our Sila tilapia have been really fired up these past few days. Look at him. Like, I'm waiting for him to get that split that he should be getting where his belly's kind of yellow and like the upper is blue. He's kind of getting it, but like, I mean, he's really just becoming a very beautiful fish daily. Dolph Lundy, our big blue dolphin, doing really well. Really dark in his pectorals, so he's showing some dominance. See all the dark outlines in his finning. Showing some dominance right now. But everybody in this tank generally just doing well. So we made one slight change to this tank this week. Nothing big, nothing crazy, something that's going to help the fish though. So you see this pile of roots down here. I know it's not the most aesthetically pleasing thing, but these other pot holders, so this pothos is doing okay. But the other pothos, pretty much that's what's left of it. It's been dying off because these other pot holders are not like this one. Again, like I said, not as aesthetically pleasing, but it's better for the plant because as you can see, they're open in the bottom, these ones. So this pothos kind of just got, the roots just got shredded by these guys. I'm sure those of you familiar with African cichlids have heard before that not really a fish that you can do plants with. A lot of hardscape, things like that. It's absolutely true, guys. I mean, you can see the results right here. This is a plant that wasn't even in the tank. It just had a little bit of root exposure underneath there. Here, I'll show you the other one because they're all piled up. But, I mean, you know, guys. So we had to go to plan B to get a little more pothos in here before our before our nitrates were starting to get affected. Really like having the pothos up here. Plants are really good at helping to pull your nitrates out of the water, give it a little bit more of a stable aquifer. So we did this, and that's the pothos that I had growing out on the rack in the cup. So this plant had a really good head start. I waited till it put out, like it was kind of here when I got it, and now it's put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 more shoots. So it's doing really well. Check out cojones too, our tetrastigma, pretty fired up, beautiful fish as well. So let's go check out what's been going on in some of the other tanks. There are a couple of changes, some improvements to things, and there's going to be further improvements, guys. I mean, now that I've got the cube back up and running, and I got that big portion of project off my plate, for now until I can get more into my breeding projects, I am going to focus on giving all of my systems a little bit of extra love. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but you know, like it's always a process. You're always improving and continuing as we go. Let me turn these plant grow lights off. They're going to create a hell of a glare for you guys right now. So, as I was saying earlier, this little flex cube is empty right now. I think I had mentioned last week that I was going to move our strawberry cichlid shortcake down into the 40-gallon and start trying to attempt some breeding projects. So I got that done this week. Real quick, just take a look. Our guppy tank doing really well, crystal clear. Again, I'm still getting bored with the guppies, guys. I might do some micro cichlids in that tank. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And also, I think that, like I was saying earlier in the stream, that I might move our Copidicromis over here, give him a little break from the hawk kind of harassing him a little bit. It's not really an issue because they've been together for several months. It's been all together, it's been about 6 months or so now. Correct me if you think I'm wrong, because I did post when I got all those fish. I got the hawk, the black orange dorsal lithobaite, and the copodichromous all at the same time. So if anybody's been gracious enough to follow this journey along with me, and remembers, correct me if you want to, because I could be wrong. My memory is not always the greatest. There's a lot going on. But we did move, like I said, we moved Shortcake, our strawberry cichlid, down here. We moved our female Obi out of the 112. She's over here. These two kind of butted heads the first couple days they were together, and I think that this is probably one of the fish that may have been picking on her when I had quarantined her to give her a little bit of recovery. But they're doing okay in here together right now. And then we moved our male Obi over here, the smaller one, which is a true Obi. And the hope is that he is going to breed with one of these girls. I have no idea why he's hiding up there right now. There he goes. Haven't seen him do that since they were together in this tank, so I don't know what that was about. But Two-Face here is the lucky stud that gets his harem first, and we're going to see if we can get some results for that. They've been together now for close to a full week. I'm hoping that in the next week or two that I see some more signs of, potential pairing and maybe a little bit of dancing, and hopefully we'll get some breeding. I'm going to give it a couple more weeks, maybe 2-3 more weeks, and if that doesn't work out, we are going to change it up and come up with plan B and figure it out. Maybe I'll get a breeding colony of fish, maybe I'll attempt in another way. Haven't decided yet. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Your input is always great. Love you guys, you're all fantastic. Let me go ahead and turn the lights out on the rack right now so that we can see a little better what is going on the other side of the fish gallery. So, take a quick look at the 112 here. Everybody doing really well in here as well. I don't know if anybody saw the short earlier this week, but our thick-barred Chitimba, he's a little bit down right now, but God, he was beautiful the other day. He was really colored up, almost all like pearly purplish colored, and his yellow was really popping. So if you haven't seen that short yet, go check that out. But everybody in here is doing really well. We probably need to do a little rework on this tank. I think I'm really going to start working a little more now that I've got the cube up on curating this tank a little better. I think at one point, for lack of a better way of saying it, this tank kind of turned into like the island of misfits. Let me go turn my TV off, guys. Hold on. I don't know why I forgot to turn the TV off, and I keep forgetting to hang up something over the window. Maybe I'll just switch the time till it's evening to do this so that it's a little bit easier and there's not as much glare. But, it's summertime right now, so when it's light until 9 p.m., that's kind of hard to do. I don't think anybody really is going to be wanting to come see my stream at 9 p.m. If I'm wrong about that, let me know, guys. But our pullet cichlid doing really well. Really beautiful fish. Still kind of working on his mask, in and out, as I've said before. But as I was saying, I really want to start working on curating this tank a little bit more, making it a little bit better of a community, and for lack of a better way of putting it, this tank had kind of turned into the island of misfits for quite a little bit of a while. But, it's time to change and correct that. I was working on other things, and this tank, it does work, but I want to do some more things with the fish in this tank and bring some more beautiful fish and more color into this tank for you guys and for myself as well. Eventually, the clown loaches are going to move. I'm waiting until some of the guys in the cube grow a little because I don't want this big loach especially, and also this larger yo-yo. The little clown I'm not so concerned about, but the other loaches, the larger ones, I don't want them, sucking on anybody that's small over in the cube when they're resting at night. And I also want that fire eel to get more comfortable with his environment before we go ahead and make that shift as well. So let's talk about what's been going on in the cube this week. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit more light here because I think, as you saw before I turned it on, I mean, it provides plenty of light for the fish. Not the greatest view though, with the driftwood being in the way. Also, there is a little bit of bio on the glass here. I need to clean that up, but it's okay. It's not going to harm the fish at all. It's just not super aesthetically pleasing by any means. So let's go ahead and turn this light back on for you guys. But so what's been going on in the cube this week? So this is now a little over 2 weeks that this tank has had water in it again and been set up as a fully running system. It's been about 10 days since the first fish went into this tank, and it's been about a week now since everybody that's currently in here is in here. So I did do my first water change on this tank yesterday. Saturday I normally do my water changes on all my other tanks. So I gave it a couple weeks before I did a water change. Didn't do an overly large water change because I don't want to shock the system by any means, as it is kind of still establishing itself. So I really just did I maybe came down to about here or so, and ran some of the water out of the sump when I did that. So I would say maybe like a 15-20% water change. Really what I wanted to do and accomplish with that was, you see there's still some of this mum left here, but there's obviously a lot less of it than you've seen previously. So, hey Jake, what's going on? After 5:30 is good. All right, I'll keep that in mind. But, I wanted to, with this water change, accomplish getting some of this mum out of here. It's done its job. It's helped rapidly stabilize the cycle. So it really is not serving much purpose anymore. And before it starts converting at a faster rate than what this cycle of tank can keep up with right now, because it is a newer established tank, I wanted to get some of that out of there. So during that water change, we got most of it out. There's still a little bit of mum in there, as you can see. We're going to get that out on the next water change. I really didn't want to go more than 15 or 20%. So that's why I stopped where I did. Our plants are doing pretty well. This sword is starting to recover a little bit. It was kind of a little bit beat up, as you guys might remember, when I first got it and put it in this tank. And these little swords are doing all right as well. Down here, so one thing I'm going to show you guys is kind of going to be a little hard to see, I guess. Well, maybe you can see it there. So there is some growth on our driftwood. So you can probably see it there. That's probably a good spot. So I'm not too concerned about this growth. I think that this is just a growth of mycelium that has exploded from the warm water, and the fact that I didn't have anywhere that was big enough to boil out these big pieces of driftwood, which, I know this driftwood never touched water. I'm calling it driftwood, but it's really dry wood. So I'm not worried about any type of microbacteria from the water, and it's going to sort itself over the course of time, and it's going to continue integrating itself into the aquifer and ecosystem of this tank, and it's not going to cause any issues. Now, another change that I made to the cube this week, I said that our pH has been good. We were rocking around 7.4, 7.5 for our pH, but I just wanted to get it a little bit lower. I really want it closer to that 7, maybe between 6.8 and 7. And so what I did, it's going to be this right here. It hasn't quite sank yet. It just came today. But I took some peat. Fluval makes a pretty good product when it comes to it, but these are peat granules. Let me turn it around to the English side for you guys. I don't think everybody can read German. But so these are just compressed peat granules, and you can naturally lower your pH in your water this way. I kind of just started out with about a cup's worth of them, because I don't want to rapidly change the environment. I want to see kind of how this amount goes first, and I'm going to give it a couple days. Especially going to wait until it sinks first and see where we go from there. And then we'll test our pH probably Monday or Tuesday. Let's see when it sinks, and then we'll test the pH, and I will let you guys know what the results of that is. But sump is doing well. I've got to clean these filter socks out. As you can see, some of the water is kind of flowing up the top because these filter sock traps are full. They were not when I did the water change yesterday, which is why I didn't do it. I think I stirred some things up. Hey, Mexicali Fish Keeper, welcome. But I think I stirred some things up when I was removing some of the mum during the water change, and that's probably why they filled up, because I had literally just cleaned those filter bags out, or filter socks out, excuse me, on Friday. So I think I've been kind of rambling on for a good enough time, guys. I kind of want to open up the floor for some Q&A right now for anybody that's in here, whether it be questions about what I have going on with my tanks, or if you want to just talk about, tanks that you may have and what we all have going on. That'd be most excellent, guys. So the floor is open. Jake, I know you've been doing a lot of stuff. I know earlier that you were asking me about the Fluval lights. I'm not sure if you made a decision yet on what you were going to do for your lighting when you start your 125, but how's that going there, buddy? Anywho, so if anybody hasn't seen it yet, I know he's here right now. I'm gonna give a shout out to Smallfish16, doing some really good stuff with his Oscars and his South and Central American cichlids over there. Mexicali Fish Keeper. Which state do I live in? So I live in Virginia, but I'm very, very close to the Washington, D.C. area. I actually work in D.C. In the real world. In my real life, I am a professional chef. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm probably going to be opening a new restaurant concept for our group soon, sometime this fall. So I'm going to continue on this journey, and hopefully I can post as often as I am, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to go. We're just going to see. So Jake, you said it's going good, but you got to get started. Yeah, I mean, I get that. Getting planning is very important, and I also know that sometimes getting going on everything kind of takes some time, because or at least for myself in that sense, because I really, really, really want to make sure I have everything set up the way that I want it to be set up, so that I know that my system is going to be stable from the beginning. So I get that, Jake. You're in Arizona, Mexicali Fish Keeper. That's awesome. How hot is it out there right now? I'm sure you guys are burning up. Even over here on the west, or on the west coast. Even over here on the East Coast, we've had a lot of uncharacteristically hot weather recently. It's probably been well over 95 degrees for 3 straight weeks. Yeah, too hot, exactly. It's actually going to be in the hundreds again here the early portion of this week. So I'm pretty sure Smallfish can attest to that, as I know he's not too far away from me. But I mean, yeah, too hot. So I mean, I think you guys were having some record-breaking temperatures too, weren't you, Mexicali Fish Keeper? Yeah, you're right, Jake. Hot is not the word for it. I mean, literally the other night, I'm a smoker. Not really trying to advertise that on YouTube, but I had gone down to have one before I went to bed, and Wow, 118 degrees. That's crazy, Mexicali fish keeper. Yeah, no thanks. But I had gone down the other night to have one before I went to bed, and it was probably, I don't know, sometime between 10 and 10:30 p.m. And like literally, I was shocked and amazed at how warm it was still at that time. I mean, it was probably in the low to mid 90s still. So like that was pretty impressive. We haven't really had weather like that here in this area for a few years. It's been pretty moderate in the summer and winter time for the last few years. So I mean, very surprising. Yeah, you're right. It definitely is humid here as well, Jake. Um, so I know what type of fish small fish has. Mexicali, after we get done with this stream, I gotta go check out your channel. Let me know how much you're posting on there, what kind of fish that you have. I would love to check it out. So I'm pretty interested to see what somebody in Arizona is keeping. I mean, I know like a lot of us are probably keeping some of the same fish, especially if we're into cichlids, whether it be Central South American or African, such as these guys, the predominant portion of most of my fish. Mostly live bearers, okay. I like that. So I take it that you're more of a community tank type guy then. That's pretty cool though. What kind of live bearers are you currently keeping, Mexicali? Planet aquariums. Do you do CO2 with your planet aquariums, or are you kind of all natural, so to speak? Oh, one more thing, guys, real quick. While we're chatting here, there is one thing I forgot to show you that I changed up this week. Maybe some of you with the sharp eye might have noticed it, but check this out, guys. A lot more space here now. I can actually fully open the lid, or at least enough to do what I gotta do. Mama's hungry. She thinks she's getting fed because I'm messing with the lid, but as many of you know that have been here before, Sunday is no feed day. So what I did was I moved this shelf up a few inches. All right, so you're keeping guppies, mollies, platies, killies, and swordtails. I love it. I also love the fact that you're telling me you don't run CO2. I appreciate that so much because, I mean, you know, I know it's very beneficial for your plants and I know it has its advantages, but I mean, honestly, like, I'm a big proponent of keeping things natural. That being said, I've got to go grab something that I'm going to show you guys that, you know, like, I'm on the fence. Like, I got something new to try. Because I really just, like, if you've been following for a long time, you know that I pretty much keep my tanks natural. I just use Prime and Stability and regular old sea salt when I do my water changes. And that's it, like, literally. I mean, I've only treated a tank maybe once in the past 2 years, and that was just when I thought that I thought that there was maybe something internal going on because some of the fish had some string poop. You run several aquariums with just biological filtration like ORB. I love it. That's awesome. Dude, I love that. I'm a big fan, like I said, a big fan of going as naturally as possible. So I'm going to go grab something real quick, and if anybody wants to give me their opinion on whether they think that this kind of still falls under natural, let me know. Hold on one second, guys. Enjoy the fish for a minute. Okay, so as those of you that have been following along know, like I said, for the better part of the 2 years that These guys have been set up. They were in the cube before. They've been in this tank since right after Thanksgiving. But literally just prime and stability. What's up, Austin LZ? What's up, bub? And then, you know, just natural sea salt, which I'm actually out of right now. I just ran out when I did my last water change yesterday. But I decided to try a few other things, but I kind of feel like this still falls into doing things naturally, because it's not exactly chemicals. It is still kind of, it just falls under the categories of biological, or, you know, beneficial bacteria, I think. So, you know, I decided that I was going to get a little stress guard from Seachem, because I really just, you know, like, I think this is still falls under the category of natural. It just helps with the slime coat of the fish. The ingredients are all natural as far as I know. So I kind of think that that really just falls under that. And then obviously this is just another type of beneficial bacteria. This is pristine. This is more of your nitrifying bacteria and more of your anaerobic bacteria, if I didn't say that the wrong way. But this will help eat up detritus and sludge in your tank. You have whole water home filtration, so you don't use dechlorinator. That's awesome. So I take it by that you mean you have an RODI system. That's pretty cool. Eventually, yes. I'm in an apartment right now, so I don't have the ability to do a full RODI system unless I put one on just like an individual tank. This tank does not have sumps. The other two have sumps, so I could probably do it there. If I were to do it on this tank, I'd probably have to get an RODI reservoir, as some of you maybe know from before, but this tank just has the two FX6 canister filters on it, right there. And then the last product that I was going to talk about, so I've been using the sea salt to provide some trace minerals to my fish. However, I wanted to see what the difference would be if I actually tried using some cichlid trace and seeing how this does. We'll see. But again, guys, like, I think that these three products that I'm adding into the mix that I just started with when I did my water change this past week, I really think that that still falls into the category of natural. Let me know if you think differently down below. That's okay. I mean, like, I know that, like, I've been a very big proponent of being as natural as possible. And, you know, I'm not going to hide anything from you guys. Like I said, when I'm making changes to these tanks and certain things that I'm doing, I'm not going to hide it, because, like, this is to be completely transparent with you guys so that everybody can learn from these things, whether it be me making a mistake or, you know, me just changing some things up and figuring out some things that work a little better. I've been keeping fish for a long time. I took a little break from the hobby for a few years, but I mean, my first fish tank I had when I was like 5-6 years old, and I was taught and expected to maintain it. So you have a tap that is located just past the carbon blockers, so it's just tap water. Okay, I got you. So basically, correct me if I'm wrong, but what it sounds like you're saying to me, Mexicali Fish Keeper, is that you have a carbon system on your water, so it's removing all of the ammonia from the tank, all of the ammonia from the tap before it gets to the tap, and therefore, you know, dechlorinating your water in that process. Okay, good. All right, so I did understand that correctly. Also, guys, I have to show you our fire reel is doing pretty well. Still loafing a lot, though. I think he's pretty comfortable in his environment. Oh, he's up front here. Yeah, he is. Hold on. So Let me turn you around. There we go. There's our fire eel just kind of chilling up in the driftwood. If you guys haven't seen there's his tail over there. If you guys haven't seen the video of him yet, you know, go check that out. The title caption is "This Eel is Fire." But we're gonna work on training him up, and I really want for you guys. Like, I kind of thought I had a name in mind for that fish, but I really want you guys to come up with a name, or help me come up with a name for the fire eel. You know, as many of you know that have been following along over the time that we've been doing this channel, you know that I am all about, you know, giving you guys some autonomy. We've done fish naming videos before, and I think we're going to do another one soon. If you guys want to do it on the fire eel, let me know. I think that might be a fun option. Or if you have another fish in mind that you might want to do for a fish naming video, let me know. Also, I know I just did the fish feature the other day on the Star Sapphire, and I want to do another fish feature this week. So if you got a specific fish in mind that you'd like to see a feature on, let me know. There are several that I've done features on already, but, you know, hold on, let me see if I can. Okay, sorry. I guess it disconnected me for a split second. I'm not sure. I guess I'll find out when the video's over. But there we go. That's probably a much better view for you guys, I would assume, because it definitely looks like you can see the fish much better. So who all's in here? I know Mexicali's in here. Austin, I know you were here. I see there's several other people here. Guys, say hello. All right, we'll wait on that a little bit. But, you know, I think that unless you guys want to do a little bit more Q&A, I've got some errands that I got to take care of. And we're probably going to... Oh, wow. Hi. Guys, my mother is here, so that's awesome. Thanks for joining us, Mom. But I've got some errands that I've got to run, so I think that I've kind of rambled on long enough for this week, unless you guys want to do a little bit more Q&A right now. Also, since I mentioned the fact that my mother was actually on this stream right now, if you haven't yet, check out the video that I posted of the pond that I built for her. I'll be doing some more videos on that the next time I get down there, hopefully. But that's a really cool system that I built for her on Mother's Day a few years ago. So check that out, guys, and let me know what you think about that too. Something completely different from what I'm doing here. But yeah, guys, be on the lookout for another fish feature video. And I'm going to try and make another video of the fire eel, see if I can get him out a little bit more. And hopefully we can do a fish naming video with the fire eel if you guys want. Just let me know and we'll figure it out from there. But be on the lookout for new content the rest of this week. Keep following along. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do, for joining this channel, for following along, putting up with my rants, my rambling, and my, you know, goofiness all together in some of the videos. But much love and support. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to end this stream now, and I will catch you guys next Sunday if I don't go out of town for another Sunday swim. Even if I do, if I go down and visit my mother, maybe I'll do a live Sunday swim from her pond. Let me know if you guys would like to see that too. But for now, in the meantime, be on the lookout for a couple new videos this week. As always, there'll be 3 to 4 shorts a day. Make sure you guys check that out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much. Mattyfish out.